So inevitably, American Muslims will become more visible and more integral to the fabric of American storytelling and American art making. So what are your hopes for the future, both as an individual artist and as part of the Muslim community?
Start with me? Sure, okay. You know, I hope that one day, and I think it's already happening, that Muslims are just integrated into mainstream society in terms of just standard, regular. So you've got a comedian who's on a television show, not necessarily because he's Muslim, just because he's great at comedy or she's great at comedy. We have politicians who are elected based upon their status. If they happen to be Muslim, it's more on their views that the electoral wants them to be there, not because they're Muslim. I think when we can get rid of the prejudice behind them being Muslim and have them accepted all the way throughout, I think we'll be in a much better place. And I think over the past 15 years, we've made tons of strides. We always talk about, well, oh my God, things are so bleak. But, 25 years ago, the people being interviewed on CNN or on local CBS were, our uncles who, God bless them, could barely speak English and happened to be in a position where they were talking. Now, if you look at the experts and the pundits who represent Islam on many of the news channels, they're lawyers and doctors and physicians and people who are phenomenal at speaking, who've grown up here and well educated. Then there are artists who are on television. I mean, Nightline did an entire half-hour special 10 years ago on Azhar. And funniest thing was his dad's barefoot got in the shot too. But to me, it was amazing because I grew up watching Nightline. I love Ted Koppel, and I'm like, I can't believe Nightline's dedicating a half-hour special on, forget somebody I know, but on an American Muslim comedian. How unbelievable is that? So I think we've come a long way, and I still think there's a long way to go. But my hope for the future is that the integration happens because of their work, not because of who they are.
I would agree with everything he just said. The only thing I would add to that for the future is I hope that theater communities keep thriving. We are so blessed to be in Chicago, and we have such great theater here. Trust me, I'm a company member at Voyage Theater Company in New York, and they tell me all the time how jealous they are of Chicago theater. We really have developed a reputation that New Yorkers are jealous of. So I hope for the future that continues, and I just really urge everyone here, support art, support live theater. They need your support because theaters are struggling right now. And it's something we're all concerned about, especially as a theater artist. We need theater now more than any other time. Please. Actors, I have so much respect for actors. They are the healers of society. And as a playwright, I can tell you, I wrote my play, The Mecca Tales. It wasn't until I brought it into the rehearsal room and started interacting with actors and the script and a director, the play transformed. Actors are healers to society. And if you look at places where there's genocide, they take the actors first. So please support the arts, support live theater.
I don't really know what to say because everything has been said by Rashid, so instead I'll just say creeping Sharia. No, I really just hope that there comes a day when, we can be great just for being a great musician, a great writer, a great playwright, and we're great in that respect for just what we do, not in terms of having to define ourselves just as being a Muslim, good for a Muslim artist, right? Getting tokenized or whatever. So, and also that you guys give us lots of money. We just get to go around and play music, smoke hookah.
Show for one guy.
Yeah, that too. You guys don't have to be there. You just give me money. Sit in a room and play by myself. And that's it. All right.
So I actually wanted to answer the question about audience. I think, and sort of to answer this question too, Rohina talked about images that Americans are bombarded with, and it reminds me that I just had a daughter. It doesn't remind me that I just had a daughter. I had a daughter a couple months ago, and I think about the environment that she's growing up in, and the music that she's going to listen to, the TV she's going to watch, and the movie she's going to watch. And I remember as a child, you know, there were American Muslim artists and musicians and, you know, athletes. I remember the way in which growing up idolized Hakeem Olajuwon, who's a basketball player, and we talk about Mos Def, and there's, you know, a rich artistic legacy in the United States of African American Muslim artists that we often forget about. And one of my funniest, earliest memories was at the mosque. I grew up in Southern California, and it's the Islamic Center of Southern California, it's Los Angeles. The actor, I totally don't know his real name, but he was Ronald on the show What's Happening, and he's Muslim in real life. And I remember I used to watch the show because he was Muslim. And a side note, I was like totally scandalized that he would kiss the woman on the show, right? Because I remember he came to the mosque once, and I ran up to him and I was like, I watch you all the time on TV. Do you use rubber lips when you kiss? But so I just want to sort of bring that in, that we do have a rich artistic history, and I want to see that continued for my children and for all of our children, and also that, you know, I've been writing these books right now. I'm writing screenplays and scripts for TV because I want to see my stories reflected on screen, and not just Muslim stories, but, you know, a woman of color, you know, mother, all of these sort of different roles that I inhabit. I want to see that reflected on screen, and I hope that that's the direction that we're moving in.
Again, I don't know how to answer this question. I have a real difficult time, because these are huge topics, you know. Trying to soundbite them is very difficult. But all right, I'm gonna try to follow my own advice and be totally truthful with everyone here. I actually believe that there's going to be mass conversion to Islam in America. It's probably going to take like 50 to 100 years, but it's already starting. Anybody who's paying attention to history, takes a meta view of history. Whenever the Islamic civilizations were intruded upon, invaded, and then there was war that lasted for a long time, the story always ends the same. Those invaders become Muslim. It's just human history. You can Google that. There's a tremendous amount of cultural inroad already laid in the foundation of the United States. There were Muslims in North America before the European settlers came here. Even the early European settlers brought with them Muslim slaves, Muslim supporting staff. So, and there was a lot of intermingling. So Islam in America has a very long history. That's another vector. People are not stupid. You know, I think that everybody in this room knows that. I think the word indoctrinated was used. Like, mass media is brainwashing us constantly. And Americans are waking up to this. And with the democratization of information, because of the internet, people are getting information from other sources beyond just Fox News and the networks and CNN. And as they do that, I mean, the natural question will begin to arise: well, whoever's behind this, why do they keep trying to brainwash me to hate this religion? And people who are intelligent will start to investigate. Every time a horrible event happens in the world, you know, some ISIS banning or whatever, all the Qur'ans in the bookstores sell out. Why? Because people are not stupid. They want to know what the hell's really going on here. And it's my firm belief that, I was a skeptic most of my life until I actually became a real Muslim and started believing this stuff. I think people will start to add 2 + 2 = 4 and figure out that this wisdom tradition is so dope. Like, it is just so dope. I mean, the text is intact. The chain of custody of the scripture is like provable and verifiable for 14 centuries. Like, this is crazy. Islam makes some outlandish claims on its face, and the Quran makes outlandish claims on its face. But any intelligent person who actually engages those arguments, I think a high percentage of them are going to be like, holy cow, this is pretty amazing. So I think it's going to take time, but I actually think it's what's going to happen. And so I'm not scared. I don't really get caught up in all this, like, oh, it's just bad times for Muslims, and 3 people got shot after 9/11. That's horrible. May God rest their souls. But 3 people dying, it's not that bad given what happened, because let anybody else do that in a Muslim country, like let Americans go and do that. They will just go nuts. I mean, they do that already in the Muslim world, go and blow up a hotel and just kill innocent expats or whatever. So I actually feel like America is one of the most tolerant societies. Americans are extremely good-hearted people, and it's just a matter of time before the tipping point is reached. So you heard it here first.
Thank you all so much. Thank you to